Circling the perimeter of McCarran International Airport, Pat and Glenn search for a line of sight.
Now, what does JANET actually stand for? There's various acronyms. It could be Joint Army Navy Transport is one possible acronym, but no one knows for sure what JANET means. It's just a call sign.
These actual tower tapes from McCarran Airport confirm the use of the JANET call sign.
Las Vegas Fudge, JANET 721. Fudge, JANET 210-15.
So these are the same jets we saw from Chicaboo Peak. The same ones. They left Las Vegas 20 minutes before, and then they're up at Area 51. So this is their daily commute. We're seeing the planes take off here. They land in Area 51. Every secret base has to have some connections to the outside world, and this is a major connection right here.
Back in the hotel, Bill and Mark are tracking departing JANET flights and noting each plane's tail number.
Okay, the one that's loading right now is November 5177 Charlie.
Running JANET flight tail numbers on the Federal Aviation Administration's flight database website confirms the government's investment in the airline.
6662 Bravo Alpha.
It is registered to the United States government.
So what's going on here?
You were just driving around the airport and you looked over there, you wouldn't think anything of this facility. If you look a little closer, you see the barbed wire, you see the guard shack, you see that there's no markings on the building. It's hiding in plain sight is what it is.
Getting Area 51 employees to speak publicly is nearly impossible. But Bill Burns has managed to track one down.
The time we were out there, we were non-existent.
The 1980s drew intense public scrutiny to Area 51, which physicist Bob Lazar claimed was reverse engineering alien technology for advanced military capabilities. Lazar has fallen out of the public eye in recent years and rarely speaks about his experiences. But new looks at the base have revealed the potential for something massive in development. And now, Bill has managed to track down a former employee of the top secret base.
I'm meeting with T.D. Barnes, a former engineer at Area 51.
T.D. Barnes is employed at Area 51 from 1968 to 1972 as an electrical engineer. He's crucial in the development of numerous top-secret aircraft that have since been declassified, like the A-12 and the F-117. According to him, the true identity of each and every Area 51 engineer is kept secret while working at the base.
We did have pseudo names, had code names, so the time we were out there, there's no really record. We were non-existent.
Barnes's description may help validate the claims of Bob Lazar, who was never able to produce any form of proof he was ever employed at Area 51. And according to Barnes, security was so tight, individual engineers weren't allowed access to projects other than their own.
There was times when something would be going on outdoors that none of us needed to see. And we would go to the mess hall and they'd pull blackout curtains and we'd sit there for 3 hours.
If any strange technology was being tested, if you weren't a part of the program, you didn't see it.
What do you know about UFOs and reverse engineering taking place?
None of us ever knew of any of that going on. I'm not saying it didn't happen.
So it might have been feasible for some kind of reverse engineering project to be going on there, is that of course you wouldn't know about.
Wouldn't know about it, and you know, anything like that would be possible.
The possibility exists that they could have been flying some extraterrestrial spacecraft over the base. Everybody's huddled in the mess hall, all the shades were drawn, you'd never see it. That's how compartmentalized and secret life was at Area 51.
But are Lazar's claims of UFO test flights true? On the outskirts of Area 51, the 3 high-resolution surveillance cameras Ted set up are capturing some unexplained aerial phenomenon. The cameras were recording continuously for 3 days. And now, Ted and image analyst Terrence Masson are taking a closer look at the footage. On the first night, at 10:39 p.m., this strange light is seen appearing in the middle of the night sky over Area 51 and descending quickly behind the mountains.
For it to be that bright, I don't think it's lighting. I think it's got to be some sort of propulsion system or jet. Can we overlay the daylight shot that has the terrain and the mountains with the nighttime shot?
Terrence combines the two images and is surprised by what he finds.
We can crossfade between the two of these, and we can see that as this thing approaches the horizon, just before it blinks out, it's actually a good bit above the horizon line, above the mountain line.
So it's not getting cut off exactly as it falls behind the ridge line.
Whatever was captured on camera seems to be blinking off.
Where it ends up there is pretty close to the beginning of the approach for the runway to Area 51.
Right.
Well, let's see if we can get an estimate of the speed of that.
Ted uses the known distance between the camera and Area 51, about 15 miles, as well as the height and distance to the mountains in the foreground, to estimate the speed of the object.
How much distance on the frame is the object falling compared to the height of the mountain range?
It's roughly about twice the relative height of the mountain range off the ground.
If it's dropping over Area 51, we're seeing it travel about 10,000 feet in about 2.2 seconds. That's about 3,600 miles per hour. That's pretty fast.
That's pretty fast.
3,600 miles per hour. This is faster than any of our aircraft. If it's further away than that, if it's beyond Area 51, say 20 or 30 more miles away, it's going at extremely high speeds that would only be consistent with a meteorite.
This wouldn't be consistent, in my experience, with a meteorite, with this kind of visual data, right? Because it would be going way too slow.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen shooting stars, meteorites.
It would fill that whole frame
a streak
in a
right
fraction
across
of a
frame.
second.
The only manned aircraft to travel at speeds of this magnitude was the X-15, which was able to break speeds over 4,500 miles per hour. But that aircraft's final flight was October 24th, 1968. No publicly known aircraft has reported speeds like that since.
It stumps us, so we're kind of left with a mystery. Something descended at high speed down into Area 51, and we're just not sure what it is.
We've driven around this place, we've tried to look inside. What we have here is ultimate secrecy.
Area 51 is fact, it's not fiction. It's been here since 1955. While the facility itself has never been secret, what happens in the facility has always been extremely top secret.
After everything else is eliminated, what is the big secret of Area 51? Are the saucers still out there in those mountains? What are they hiding? What's there?
The closest looks at Area 51 prove that the base is still active. And with massive hangars, impossibly fast objects, and recent sightings of large triangles all across the globe, Area 51 may be the source of a worldwide UFO phenomenon.